Alright, this video is for the class Discovering Exponents and Polynomials, and in the very first workbook you'll see there's a review. This video is to go over the answers to that review. So if you haven't done the worksheet yet, or if you're not part of this class, there are a few things you can do. If you're in the class, do the worksheet and then check your answers. I'm about ready to put them up. And if you're not in the class and you want to be in the class and learn about the rules of exponents and polynomials, then please, by all means, go to the description of this video and you'll see a link to the class. All right, I'm going to pause it and put up the answers. Okay, so these are the answers. Pause, check your work, and then come back and watch how I got the answer to any of them that you do not understand. Okay? So I'm going to assume that you have paused and you're ready to learn a little bit about this. So some things we need to know so we can solve these. This 2 is my exponent. This 5 is my base. And the exponent tells me how many times to multiply the base. And all of these are perfect squares, so it's multiplying itself twice. 5 times 5 is 25. 9 times 9 is 81. 11 times 11. Now there's a trick to this one. Usually we have our 1 through 100 and 1 through 10 memorized. Those are usually the easy ones, and actually I'm going to skip these 2-digit ones for later, okay? But I'm going to go over how we do the other ones real quick, okay? So I'm going to skip number 3. I'm going to put a circle around it. I'm going to come back to it at the end. I'm going to show you a little trick to these 2-digit ones. All right, this one's just 3 times 3. The 2 controls how many times I multiply the 3. This one's just 1 times 1, which is going to give me 1. It's a 2-digit. This is just 7 times 7. 7 times 7 is 49. This is a 2-digit. This is 0 times 0, which is 0. 0 times anything's the other number. The other number is also 0. Here's another 2-digit. This is 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. This is 4 times 4, which is 16. And this is 6 times 6, which is 36. And this is 8 times 8, which is 64. Now, if you're having trouble with the multiplication, you need to take a multiplication class. This is probably not the class for you. But if your trouble is you just don't know what to do with the exponent and everything, hopefully you realize that the exponent tells me how many times to multiply the base. Now let's look at some of these that I circled. So usually we know this one. It's 100, right? Okay. But let's look at 11 and let's look at it slowly. This one's 100 because it's 10 times 10. 10 times 10 would be just take the 2 zeros, 1 times 1, which equals 100. So we're going to look at 11 slowly, okay? So if I was going to figure out 11, I'd do 11 times 11. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 1, got to line up underneath this second one so that the place value. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 1 is also 1. So look here. If I just look at the number 11, okay, I took this and I multiplied it. 1 times 1. And I get an answer of 1 when I add down the column. If I take the second, if I take it again and I add it, 1 plus 1, I get 2. That's what my second column is. If I then just bring down the first digit of the number, I get 121. So the trick is to take the second digit, okay, add it, and then multiply it. Let me show you on a different one. Let's look at 12 squared. So this is just a trick. You can also just go 11 times 11. You can go 12 times 12. But the trick is I split up my numbers. I drop down my first digit may drop down. We'll have to see. Okay, first I add 2 plus 2, which is 4. Then I multiply 2 times 2, which is 4. And then I drop down the 1. It's just a trick that is doing the same thing with the place values as multiplying the two numbers. You're just doing it quicker. If I were to multiply them, I would have went 2 times 2, which is 4, 2 times 1, which is 2, 2 times 2, which is 2, 2 times 1. And then when I add down, I'm just adding this column adding this column, and it comes out to the same thing. I'm doing what it already does. 2 times 2, that's that digit. Then I have to add the 2's because that's this digit right here. I'm adding 2 2's, and then I drop down the 1. And it works on all the 2 digits, okay, that are in the teens. When you hit 20, you have to come up with a different one. All right, so let's go to 13. So same thing. Let's split up the numbers. First, I'm going to add the 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. Or, sorry, it's multiply first. 2 times 2. So 3 times 3 is 9. 3 plus 3 is 6. Drop down my 1. Okay, it's just a trick, but it's doing exactly what you would do, but it's getting down to the nitty-gritty of what you do when you do these problems. All right, let's do this one. 4 times 4 is 16. I'm going to put a little carrying 1 here. 4 plus 4 is 8. Okay, so it's going to be 8 plus this 1 more here, which is going to make it 9. Drop down my 1. Okay, so whenever I have to carry, I have to bring it to the next digit. Let's do 15. 5 times 5 is 25. Put my 5 down, carry my 2. 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 2 is 12. Bring down my 2, carry my 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay, but you can always just go 15 times 15. But these are the facts that you need to memorize. It will make it a lot easier if you have these memorized, because we are going to expand so far on this topic that it will just keep you from being delayed. All right, that's part 1 of the review. Do part 2 of the review and then watch the video.